and sisters, fellow transit workers, you have succeeded in doing what needed to be done. We've turned out here today in the thousands to tell the MTA and the governor of New York State that we're not going to settle for a contract that puts us behind the eight ball, and that we're willing to stand up and defend our jobs and our families. So thank you. The line stretches for blocks and blocks and blocks from this perspective. Thank you very much for turning out. 1 year ago, you were all breaking your backs to prepare for Hurricane Sandy. And 1 year ago tomorrow, you were breaking your backs again to clean up in the aftermath of that devastating hurricane. The day after that, you had bus service on the street. A couple of days later, you incredibly had vast amounts of the subway system up and running in record time. For weeks, many of you barely saw your families. You didn't have time to worry about your own situation because you were busy rebuilding this transit system in ways that no other workforce in the world could rebuild the New York City subway and bus system. Brothers and sisters, we literally saved this city's economy. You restored order out of complete chaos. New Yorkers knew that if their transit system was up and running, then things couldn't be all that bad for them. TW Local 100 members gave the riders of the city of New York that peace of mind through our professionalism and our diligence and our restoration of this system. While most of the city was in a state of confusion, we had the situation here under control. The editorial writers described your efforts as miraculous. And it was absolutely miraculous. But for the folks that are standing here today, this system would still be a disaster. Our then MTA chairman, Joe Loda, got so much praise for the work that you did, that we all did. He got so much praise that he thought he could get elected mayor. How do you like that? You all do the work, and a bean-counting bureaucrat thinks he should be mayor of the city of New York. Imagine that. Well, he's in for a rude awakening, but he's not going to be the mayor of the city of New York in another couple of weeks. New Yorkers know the truth. Once again, you proved to everyone, especially our riders, that the work we do is absolutely vital to this entire region. When transit does not move, the city of New York does not move. When the city doesn't move, the economy is in lockdown. That affects everyone, from the local deli owner to the theater district to Wall Street. So how does the MTA say thank you to its workforce? The MTA's big thank you to its workforce was to demand 0 wage increases for 3 years. 0 wage increases for 3 years is what they want out of us. $5,000 a year out-of-pocket expenses for health care. They want part-time bus operators. They want to privatize station cleaning and station maintenance. What a way to say thank you. Attack the very workers who put this city back on its feet, but we've come to expect nothing less from the MTA. Earlier today, just a few blocks south from here, Governor Cuomo and the chairman and CEO of the MTA, Tom Prendergast, had a big press conference to talk about preparing a system for the next Hurricane Sandy. Guess what they did not talk about? They didn't talk about what should be the #1 priority on their agenda, which is a fair contract for all of you, a fair contract for New York City transit workers, a fair contract for the people who actually keep this system together and for the people who really move New York City. So here we are today, 1 year after Hurricane Sandy, 20 months after our contract expired. The MTA said back then that they were broke. They said the economy was in the tank and their revenues were down. Well, that's not the case anymore. That's not the case at all. The economy has rebounded, their revenues have rebounded, and ridership is at its highest level in 60 years. The MTA has tried to hide the fact that they are flush with cash, but even they couldn't hide $2 billion in revenues beyond what their projections said they were going to have. $2 billion, and they want 3 zeros out of us. We have a message for the MTA. A chunk of that money is ours to settle a fair contract. There's more than enough money to settle a reasonable contract for transit workers, and there's more than enough money to restore the 2010 service cuts and to keep the fares down. We have some news for the MTA, for Tom Prendergast, and for Governor Cuomo. You are all out of excuses now. At this point, no more excuses. The leadership of this union has shown great patience over the last 20 months. But more importantly, rank and file transit workers have shown incredible patience for the last 2 years, working for a company that's trying to stick it to them day in, day out. Well, our patience is wearing thin. It's time to get this contract behind us. Transit workers have earned a fair contract, and they have earned a fair wage increase. Stop stalling, stop crying poverty, and stop disrespecting the workers and your passengers. And that starts right up there on the upper floors of this building. We have a message for Prendergast. Take the ridiculous demands off the bargaining table, because the truth of the matter is that TW Local 100 members are not eating those 3 zeros. We're not doing it. And we're not paying $5,000 for health care to take care of our families. It's not happening. And lastly, we sure as hell aren't going to agree to part-time bus operators or part-time anything on this property. TW Local 100 will defend full-time work to our last breath. They need to negotiate in good faith. They need to settle this contract now. If they don't begin to negotiate in good faith, they are responsible for the consequences. They're responsible. The TW in New York City has behaved in the most reasonable fashion. It is they who are being unreasonable. The MTA and New York State government are being absolutely unreasonable, and it is they who are throwing a match to the powder keg of rank and file transit workers, growing to the point where they're going to take matters into their own hands and stick it to the company that's trying to stick it to them. Brothers and sisters, fellow transit workers, before you go in for your next shift, think about what the MTA is trying to do to you and your family. Think about the amount of damage they're trying to do to us in this contract fight. They prove time and time again that going the extra mile for them is not worth it. Time after time, we've gone the extra mile for this company. It's never been reciprocated. We go the extra mile during natural disasters, during blackouts, and the only thing the MTA wants to do in response is kick dirt in our face, and they're not doing it. We're not settling for that crappy contract. I will tell you, brothers and sisters, from this point forward until we get a fair contract, do your job. Do your job. Go to work. Do your 40 hours. Do your run. And do it well. But don't do a damn thing for this company that's not absolutely required. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve our respect. They don't deserve any extra effort on our part. When we give an extra effort for this company, their response is to try to hurt our livelihoods and hurt our ability to take care of our families. Brothers and sisters, united, standing as one, we can beat back these concession demands and we can win a fair contract. Let us stand together and defend our livelihoods and our families. If we stand together, we win. If we allow ourselves to be divided, we lose. Don't let it happen. Stand united, stand up against these bosses, and stand with the leadership of the union who's been resisting these concessions and fighting for a contract that's livable for transit workers and recognizes the valuable work that we do day in, day out for this city. I want to thank you for coming out tonight, brothers and sisters. The line goes on for blocks and blocks and blocks. And I will leave you with one final word and repeating what I said. By not settling a fair contract with us, they're dangling a match over a powder keg, and they're going to deal with the consequences. Thank you very much, TW Local 100. Thank you very much.